Kiatisuk Sinamwang, lifting the Tiger Cup for Thailand after the 2002 final. It was the third Tiger Cup title for the Thais in only 8 years. Led by wily master tactician Peter With, Thailand's dominance of the sport in the region was simply unequaled. But little did anyone know that 2 years later, the tide of power in ASEAN football would change dramatically. Would Peter With still be at the helm of Thai football? Or would Ivan Kolev still have control over the promising Indonesian squad? The draw for the 2004 Tiger Cup was filled with high energy and innovative entertainment concepts, which signal the tournament's desire to be recognized as a major sporting event in the international arena. Senior officials from all 10 participating nations were present, and co-hosts Vietnam and Malaysia would head the two groups. Joining Vietnam in Group A were Indonesia, who had finished runners-up in the last two Tiger Cups. The Lions of Singapore, who hadn't made it past the group stage since 1998, were also drafted in. And the group was completed with the minnows of Cambodia and Laos.
I think each team will try to go to win Tiger Cup, but to win Tiger Cup first you must be target each game how it's come. And what I said, Vietnam, Indonesia, very critical for us to qualify for semi-final. And after semi-final, everything is open.
Leading Group B were the other co-hosts Malaysia. The Tigers had to contend with three-time champions Thailand. Myanmar were rated as dark horses who could give the Thais and Malaysians several problems. Also there were the Philippines, and making their grand debut on the international sporting arena were Timor-Leste. With the completion of the draw, the Singapore team continued with their normal training routine and preparations for the tournament. As head coach, Radi Avramovich carried much of the hopes of the nation as he sought to bring about a return to the glory days of 1998. In what remained their only international title to date, Singapore had upset the odds to bring home the gold from Vietnam. Since then, however, the Tiger Cup's been a tale of woe with elimination in the first round in 2000 and 2002. The Republic's hopes weren't helped by a spate of injuries to their leading strikers ahead of the forthcoming campaign. Agu Kashmir, Noor Alam Shah, and Indra Shadan were all either hindered by injuries or struggling for form. Those circumstances sent a gloomy message to the local fans and media. It seemed the only believers in the Lions were their coaches and the players themselves. December 7th, the day the 2004 Tiger Cup roared into action. With a sold-out crowd of 30,000 at the Thong Nhat Stadium in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam were the clear favorites to beat Singapore on opening day of Group A. The Vietnamese were obviously banking on getting the points, while a draw would have been a satisfactory start for the Lions. Labeled as underdogs, the Singapore 11 showed no signs of pressure as they stood proudly and sang the national anthem with a great deal of pride and passion. And it was the Lions who had the best chance of the opening stages. Shadil Ishak's free kick almost stole an early goal for the Republic. But just when the momentum of the Lions was beginning to build, Indra was yellow-carded for apparently not playing to the referee's whistle. His reasoning that he couldn't hear the official above the noise in the stadium fell on deaf ears. Then it was Vietnam's turn, only for the crossbar to come to Singapore's aid. A close shave for the Lions as Vietnamese coach Edson Tavares acknowledged the great teamwork of his charges. He soon had genuine cause for celebration. On 51 minutes, the deadlock was broken.
Tak Balkan playing the ball wide there. The Singapore defense must close the winger down right now. Mohamed Ridwan can't cut out the ball, and Balkan! What a magnificent header by Tak Balkan, sending the Vietnamese fans into absolute ecstasy. Great work down the wing, the cross comes in, and a fantastic flying header by Tak Balkan.
But the Republic remained undeterred and were duly rewarded in the 70th minute. Striker-in-chief Indra with a trademark Predators finish. Singapore back in the game with a crucial goal. With time running out, Vietnam pushed forward again.
Here come Vietnam now, searching for the win, and oh, what a great save by Singapore's Lionel Lewis.
So honours even at the end of the 90 minutes. Singapore had upset the odds to avoid defeat in their opening match. Indra's goal and Lionel's heroics would have proved crucial in the lifting of the team's confidence and morale. But there was yet another force responsible for the newfound self-belief.
Radi has always been a big influence since he stepped in because he's a coach who has coached in Middle East, and he has played international football for his country, and at the same time he has played in a Premiership club back then in England. Right now we don't have any fear facing the Middle East team. Before there was a huge gap between Southeast Asia teams and the Middle East team. We normally get whacked or we play defensive against them. But right now, we just go out there and play like normal teams. Another influence that he has made is he's a very father figure to the young boys. He would scold, but at the same time, after a while, he would pacify them. So it's nice to see that they blend together, the young boys and himself. And we, the senior players, also has a lot of respect for him. So he's been instrumental in these 2 years he has been in Singapore.
Indonesia were another team nursing title dreams with a young squad. They had appointed Peter With 6 months before the tournament with a view towards winning a first Tiger Cup. With newcomers Boas Salosa and Eli Imboy, paired with a front two of Kurniawan Yulianto and Ilham Jayakasuma, this was an Indonesia geared for all-out attack under the instruction of the 53-year-old Englishman.
Peter With has been with us coming to 6 months. We brought him in with the intention to help the Indonesian squad with the World Cup qualifiers as well as the coming Asian Cup. The main reason why Peter With is chosen is because he has proven his qualities with Thailand when he led them to glory in the Tiger Cup on 2 occasions. And we are also aware of his high level of coaching abilities as well as his importance in the values of discipline. Also, he is able to balance that alongside winning support from his players.
What I'm trying to achieve here is I'm trying to achieve a competitiveness and not a comfort zone. What I call a comfort zone, the players are just, well, I'm going to be in the national team and it doesn't really matter. I've been in the national team for 5 years. I've tried to get away from that. I want players to be competitive. I want every position on the football field, someone fighting from behind to try and get in the side. If we have this competitive edge, then the players that are in possession of the shirt at that time must be pushing and playing at their best, knowing that there's someone behind them.
Still, it was a confident Singapore who walked out for their second group tie. They'd beaten the Indonesians in a friendly 3 months earlier and took that self-belief into this encounter. It took them only 6 minutes to carve out their first real opening.
Good work there by Indra Shadan and... oh! How did Agu Kasmir miss that glorious chance? Great work by Indra Shadan. Take a look at this. It's almost as if he passes the ball to the goalkeeper.
At the other end, Boas and Ilham started to give the Singapore backline a tough time. Only the onside flag saved the Lions from conceding a penalty on this occasion. The tale of missed chances continued in the second half. Timmy Dixon's poor attempted pass to Indra meant another wasted opportunity. Indonesia too had their moments. Otasan Salosa, the disappointed player this time. The Lions then suffered a setback, Captain Aidi Iskandar's foul on Boas meant a second yellow card of the tournament and suspension for their next match against Laos. In the dying minutes, one final scare for Singapore.
Pandemonium now in the Singapore defense. Can Indonesia steal the game? What a magnificent save by Lionel Lewis. There would have surely been all 3 points to Indonesia, but the Singapore goalkeeper saves his team once again.
So another valuable point for the Lions at the final whistle. 2 draws against their main group rivals meant they had put themselves in a strong position to qualify for the semis. Other results were to make that possibility even stronger. Indonesia would tag group favourites right from the opening match, a 6-0 romp over Laos. The brilliant play of Boas Salosa, Ilham Kusuma, Kurniawan and Ali Aiboy were beginning to catch everyone's attention. Following the goalless draw with Singapore, Indonesia took on Vietnam in what was a virtual playoff for a semi-final slot. 50,000 Vietnamese fans filled the National Stadium in Hanoi in anticipation of a home win, but the visitors were playing to a different script.
The goalkeeper misses the ball, and Mohamed Lessi opens the scoring for Indonesia. Boas Salosa now picks up the loose ball. That's a great shot, and it's 2-0 to Indonesia. Slack defending on the part of the Vietnamese. Seconds left in the first half, and here come Indonesia once again. Ilham Jaya, and it's 3-0 Indonesia. Surely Vietnam must be out of it now. He can do the dance, they can all dance, because Indonesia are progressing into the next stage of the Tiger Cup. What a magnificent goal.
After that defeat, Vietnam coach Edson Tavares threw in the towel. He quit as head coach the next morning with his side virtually out of contention. The defeat for Vietnam meant Singapore only had to beat Laos and Cambodia to make the semi-finals. That incentive prompted the Lions to get off to a good start, as within 2 minutes, Agu almost put the Republic ahead with this attempt. It was a promising start to build on. The breakthrough came on 7 minutes.
Great strength shown by Agu Kasmi. He looks up and plays the ball in. That's well cleared by the Laotian defender. Hasrin Jailani takes a shot. And it's 1-0 to Singapore. In the opening minutes of a game that they must win, that is the best start that the Singaporeans could have hoped for.
Equally crucially, they continued to keep the back door shut. Lionel Lewis with the save from Laos captain Chalana Luang Amath. It was soon back to the other end as Singapore went in search of more goals. Clumsy Laotian defending presented them with another chance, which Indra exploited to maximum effect. 2-0 Singapore, thanks to that fortunate deflection which sent Laos keeper Sithole Kanyavong the wrong way. But it wasn't all one-way traffic. 3 minutes later, Laos reduced the deficit. Vise Phampuavan sneaking in to renew hope for the Laotians. That made the score Singapore 2, Laos 1. Any hopes the Laotians had of reviving the contest were ended in the last 5 minutes of the half.
And it's going to trickle in. Singphet Tongfakan has scored the most bizarre own goal of this competition.
Then in first half injury time, naturalized Singaporean Agu made it 4-1. His somersaults, a fitting way to celebrate his first ever goal in Singapore colours. Laos continued to show admirable fighting qualities after the break and got their reward on 71 minutes. Lam Non Singto brought down in the box by Noor Rahman, penalty to Laos. Skipper Chilana successfully converted to make it 4-2. But the cheers of the Laos faithful were cut short just 2 minutes later.
Itimi Dixon grips the ball in. That's a good dummy by Agu Kasmir, and it's 5-2 to Singapore. Once again, Singapore restore their 3-goal lead. Indra Sharan with a very, very clinical finish after some good work by Itimi Dixon and Agu Kasmir.
The seal on a comfortable Singapore win came in injury time. Sharul Ishak's progress halted crudely to hand Singapore a penalty. Agu comfortably stroked the ball home to make the final score Singapore 6, Laos 2. With the final whistle confirming their first win of the campaign, everything seemed to be going the way of the Lions, thanks in no small part to the camaraderie in the camp.
The main difference I could tell is that the team spirit is different and the coach is different. I mean, the coach way of handling the players is different from the previous campaign. Coach Reddy actually have a no-nonsense attitude. You know, be it you are a star player in your respective clubs and you have been holding the first 11 for a very long time in the national team. He doesn't give a reputation aside. It's based on what your current form as well as your work rate as well as a discipline to the game.
Singapore's final group match was against Cambodia in Haiphong. All the Lions needed was a win to book their place in the last four. And there was to be no slip-up from the 1998 winners. Itimi Dixon in the right place at the right time, although the replay showed he didn't know too much about it. 1-0 after 21 minutes. Just a minute later, Hazren almost doubled their lead. But the post came to Cambodia's rescue. They weren't as fortunate just 5 minutes later. By Haiki Haizan to score this time, although Cambodian keeper Hong Visokra's handling was generous to say the least. Singapore sealed the win 9 minutes into the second half. Substitute Khairul Amri scored his first of the campaign. But once again, bad handling from the Cambodian custodian gave the Lions a helping hand. But Singapore's win on the night was dampened on 68 minutes. Indra's late challenge meant a second yellow card at the tournament for the 25-year-old and a one-match suspension for the first leg of the semi-final. Nonetheless, the win guaranteed Singapore's passage into the last four for the first time since 1998. In the end, Indonesia finished top without even conceding a goal. Singapore remained unbeaten to join them in the semi-finals. Hosts Vietnam failed to advance from the group stage for the first time in Tiger Cup history. And no surprises as Laos and Cambodia brought up the rear of the group. In Group B, the biggest shock undoubtedly was the exit of three-time champions Thailand. They'd been knocked out despite scoring more goals than any other team in the group. 3 wins and a draw saw Myanmar finish top, while Malaysia did enough to clinch second spot. With a 2-week break before the semi-finals, the Lions had their chance to rest and recover. Coach Raddy's strategies had worked well so far, but credit also had to go to his assistant, Singapore legend Fandi Ahmad. With his long experience as a player in the national setup, Fandi knew better than most of the expectations of the public. But throughout his distinguished playing career, the 45-year-old had never experienced the joy of winning an international tournament with the Lions. It's a fact he was eager to correct as they prepared to face Myanmar in the semis. But while Fandi's still a vital part of the national team, he's quick to acknowledge the impact Raddy's had on the Lions.
He injected a lot of young faces and his confidence about them, and in return they give respect to Raddy because they know that the youngsters, and even the youngsters know that this is a chance for them to prove themselves because a lot of senior players are gone, and he wants to show that every player immaterial of the age, he will give chance if they willing to fight for the team, play for the team, not for themselves. And they have Raddy's confidence, that's why they are in the team, and Raddy is willing to chop any players, not young or old, but whoever who's not serious about the team.
It had taken Raddy almost 18 months to build the new-look Lions. Months of failure, disappointment, criticism, and hard work had molded them into tougher players. It was a character-building process which had served them well once the games in Vietnam had got underway.
I would say it's the first 2 games of the Tiger Cup because when we came into this competition, nobody actually gave us anything. But then we had the belief in ourselves. As a team, we had a belief because we really worked hard for this tournament. We prepared ourselves and we did a lot of sacrifices. So when the first 2 games, it was very important because they were the top 2 teams in that group also. So when we get the 2 good results, it makes us believe, it gives us more belief in the sense that we can go far.
Close to 15,000 fans descended on Kuala Lumpur's Cheras Stadium for the semi-final first leg clash. In their midst, 500 Singaporeans who travelled to support the Lions.
Myanmar now with Chim Win down the wing. Crosses the ball in. Good layback. Good shot there coming in from Somyat Min. Well saved by Lionel Lewis. Here come the Myanmarese. Bo Ong. Cross comes in from Chomo. A good header. Well saved by Lionel Lewis. The ball looked to be creeping in until the goalkeeper tipped it over from Yan Peng. Singapore now with the cross coming into the box. Tachuan leaves it for Daniel Bennett. Looks up, strikes. And it's gone in. Incredibly, it's 1-0 to Singapore. And there was no danger as the ball came in. But sometimes these things do happen. Bennett doesn't care. He's got the opening goal. If you take a look again, that ball there came off the unfortunate Cho Chin Win, looping over Ong Ong U, 1-0 to Singapore. Myanmar now looking to strike back. Good control there from Yan Peng. Oh, and they've got the equalizer. Somyat Min, who came so close early on, taking advantage of a little bit of ball watching, to be honest, from Singapore's defender Daniel Bennett to sneak in behind a much taller defender and get the equalizer from Myanmar. There you go. Knocks the ball in. 1-1. Myanmar looking now to perhaps score a goal as a cross comes in from Mintu. And it goes in from Mintu. I don't know if anybody got a touch on the cross or not, but Mintu won't care. It's 2-1 to Myanmar in the 36th minute. And if you look at this once again, Lionel Lewis has to take some of the blame. Asfin Jalani now crosses the ball in well. Oh, that's a poor clearance from Mintu. Itimi Dixon. Good tenacity shown by Dixon. Agu Kashmir, and it's 2-2. It's raining goals here at Tichara Stadium. A third goal in 6 minutes. And Radi Abramovich looks like a relieved man. How does he stand all the tension? Itimi Dixon there, good tenacity, good finish, 2-2. Daniel Bennett hoping to pump the ball in once again. Well controlled by Noah Alam Shah, and good save from Ong Ong U. The fans hoping for something special as Singapore come again with that long ball from Daniel Bennett. Dixon, can he work his trickery once again? A lot of scrambling going on now. Was a harsh tackle coming in. Well saved by the keeper. Oh! Agu Kashmir missing. Singapore then hoping to take the lead. Agu Kashmir doing well. Lays the ball back. Surely this must be, and it is, Singapore's third goal. Noah Alam Shah playing in place of Indra Shadan. And Noah Alam Shah takes his chance with great aplomb, putting Singapore in the lead after 63 minutes. Cheryl Ishak shapes up to cross the ball in. Agu Kashmir, and it's 4-2 to Singapore. We don't know if Agu Kashmir got a touch on the ball or not, but Cheryl Ishak won't care, nor will Avramovic. Ball goes in, Singapore lead 4-2. Myanmar now hoping to perhaps get a consolation goal. Should be easy for the Singapore defence. Oh, a mistake there from Nuraman. And Som Nyatmin sneaks in for his second goal of the game. Very much a similar position from his opening goal, giving Myanmar a bit of a fighting chance for the second leg. 4-3 to Singapore.
A hard-fought victory in KL, there was another sign of the Lions' growing maturity. It was also another small step taken to prove that they were indeed worthy of a place in the semi-finals.
I think it is an achievement because we have proven a lot of critics wrong. Before, the fans or the media didn't have any faith in us anymore since we lost our last Tiger Cup 2002, especially the 4-0 defeat against Malaysia. But slowly, the spark is coming back. Slowly, we are showing the fans that this young team, these young Lions, are capable of winning games. And it's a great positive thing that is happening currently, especially with Radi, who's a very experienced coach in the side. And we have our football legend, Fandi Ahmad, assisting him. And we have Bising assisting the goalkeeper. So I guess things is slowly turning to be a good sign for Singapore.
If you look at this Tiger Cup from beginning, nobody gave any chance to Singapore. But we done it. We done it with many of those young players, with help from a few of those experienced players. And I think that's only way that mixture of those experience and young players can improve national team, and we look in future to do same.
January 2nd. 30,000 fans braved the elements to cheer on both teams at the National Stadium. Torrential rain in the 24 hours leading up to kickoff meant a waterlogged pitch for the players to deal with. This wasn't a night for the faint-hearted.
Cho Lin Tun for Myanmar lofts a hopeful ball in. Perhaps best to play the long ball on the ground like this. And here comes Somnat Min. And this man is truly the scourge of Singapore. Scoring a couple of goals in the first leg, Somnat Min levels the aggregate score and gives Myanmar a 1-0 lead. Here comes Singapore. Bennett to Agu Kasmir. Chips the ball in. Well taken by Noor Alam Shah. A perfect striker's finish by the Singapore striker. But, we seem to have a whistle on the play. I think the referee is giving Noor Alam Shah a yellow card, which must surely be for supposed handball. It looked to be a little bit of a harsh decision, but unfortunately for Singapore, that goal will not stand. Myanmar now. Ball pinballing inside the Singapore penalty area. Shot comes in. And the ball creeps in. It's 2-0 to Myanmar. Incredibly, Ong Jo Mo has scored, giving the Myanmarese a 2-0 lead in Singapore's National Stadium. Myanmar now lead 5-4 on aggregate. Singapore now know that they have got to try and score a goal. Goh Tat Chuan. Oh, a bit of a harsh tackle coming in from Min Tu. Both players squaring up. Sensibly though, Goh Tat Chuan keeps his arms by his side. It's a yellow card for Min Tu. Daniel Bennett now driving his team on. And just caught by Yan Peng, who could be in trouble because that's his second yellow card. It's a sending off for one of Myanmar's top strikers. And this could be a problem for the visitors and their coach Ivan Kolev. And really, he can have no complaints about that tackle. Agu Kasmir, with only 16 minutes to go, to do something to perhaps reduce the deficit. A cross comes in, Noor Alam Shah, and it goes off the Myanmarese defender, I think it was Chor Lin Tun, to make the score 5-all on aggregate. The Singapore team and the Singapore fans are in absolute ecstasy. With only 16 minutes to go, staring defeat in the face. A good header by Noor Alam Shah. Agu Kasmir pumps the ball in. Singapore searching for that winner. Bit of a mix-up there in the Myanmar defence. Ball comes in once again. Indra Shadan, can he work his magic? He's brought down. It's a penalty to Singapore. Such drama here at the National Stadium with only 4 minutes to go. Chor Lin Tun brings down Indra Shadan and gets a yellow card for his troubles as well. He's sent off. It's all going so wrong for Myanmar, and the entire team seem to be absolutely gutted. Mo Chor Tu. Oh, he's in trouble now. Oh, he's sent off as well. Myanmar are down to 8 men. Indra Shada knows with this goal he can send Singapore through to the Tiger Cup final, and one of Singapore's top strikers misses when it matters the most. It's 5-all on aggregate at full time. The teams now have to play 2 periods of extra time. Ivan Kolev and Radi Avramovic now have to strategize and reshape their tactics. Here comes Singapore. Agu Kasmir, can he work some magic now? Lays the ball back. Noor Alam Shah. A shot comes in against the bar. Noor Alam Shah, and it's a goal for Singapore. Noor Alam Shah making up for that disallowed goal in the first half, giving Singapore the lead 6-5 on aggregate, 2-all on the night. You have to feel for the Myanmar goalkeeper. Here comes Singapore once again. Agu Kasmir just held up by the ball and by the pitch. Agu now squares the ball. It's so simple, isn't it, when you're playing against 8 men? Noor Alam Shah bursts through, gets his second goal of the evening. That's his 3rd goal in 2 games, and Singapore really are in the driver's seat. 7-5 on aggregate. Singapore now with the 2-goal cushion. Almost looks like a training session for them. A good chip in. Khairul Amri looks up, squares the ball back. Agu Kasmir makes it 8-5 on aggregate to the home team. And surely Singapore must now be cruising to their first Tiger Cup final since 1998. Unselfish play from Khairul Amri. Looks up, leaving his partner with a simple chance. Agu Kasbe now just hoping to play out the last few minutes. Oh, that's a high tackle coming in from Myanmar. And another dangerous tackle from Sunday Tien. And the Myanmarese players, they are frustrated, but there's no need for such behaviour, really. And a bottle has been thrown at Singapore's S. Subramani from the crowd. Well, we're not sure what really happened, but these are ugly scenes, and it looks like the bottle was thrown from the bench. And Myanmar's reserve goalkeeper Tun Tun Lin has been sent off for throwing the bottle. Disgraceful behaviour.
The final score, 4-2 to the Singapore Lions. Greater composure and self-control, the key factors as Singapore emerged victorious from the foot brawl in the mud. It also meant they were through to the Tiger Cup final for the first time since 1998.
Myanmar, I mean, people put them down, say they're not as good, but actually I think they are a very good team, and they have a great team spirit obviously as well, and their fans buoyed them on, and it's not easy. Once you get to the semi-final, anything can happen, and I think we pulled through in the end because we were the more disciplined team, and we were more committed to getting that result, and I think we deserved it in the end.
At one point of time in the game, I thought we were not going to make it until the goal came, and then we all started having that belief in ourselves that we can win that game actually. I think great to the boys for all that things, all that effort they give in that game in the last few minutes.
The clash between Indonesia and Malaysia in the other semi-final was another titanic battle, and it all began at the Senayan Stadium.
Elia Boy chasing what looks to be like a lost cause. He keeps the ball in play. Well chipped in, and it's 1-0 to Indonesia. Great tenacity shown by Eli Aboy. Fantastic finish by Kurniawan. The ball chipped in. Liu Kit Kong loses his marker, and that's 1-1. And the goal coming totally against the run of play, but Liu Kit Kong won't care. Malaysia are level. Hopeful ball being pumped in. And it's allowed to bounce through, and Liu Kit Kong has poached the second goal. The Indonesian defense just cannot keep track of this man. Malaysia 2, Indonesia 1.
Liu Kit Kong gave Malaysia a 2-1 lead to defend at the Bukit Jalil Stadium. But Indonesia were about to prove just what they were truly made of.
Khalid Jamlus bears down on the Indonesian goal. Well, that's a great shot by Khalid Jamlus. And it's poor control by the Malaysian defender. In comes Kurniawan, bears down on the goal, looks up. What a finish by Kurniawan. Boas whips the ball in. Charis Yulianto, all square once again. Ball coming in now. That's some great control by Kurniawan. The ball bounces to Ilham Kesuma, and Indonesia amazingly are in the lead now. And that's a wonderful through ball play to Borselosa. Good control, goes from the goalkeeper, and surely Indonesia are through to the final.
A 4-1 win in KL saw them installed as favourites to win the cup.
We've been ready since the tournament started, really. That we've been working hard. We've had a very limited time to work together as a team because of the league situation. But, as the game has gone along and as the tournament's gone along, we've proved that we can score goals. We've proved really that we deserve to be in the final. And now we're just looking forward to the game against Singapore.
10 days later, the Lions were on the road again. Next up, Jakarta.
The mood is very high. The team, they're training very well. They're responding very well after our last game against Myanmar. They don't look tired. They look fresh, raring to go for this coming first leg final against Indonesia in Jakarta.
Following their glorious performance in KL, Indonesia's confidence was sky high. Losing the last two finals had been tough to swallow, and Peter With was out to ensure there was to be no repeat. Their tournament displays thus far had backed up their tag as favourites. 22 goals scored with only 3 conceded in 6 games was an impressive return for a team which had only been put together in the last 6 months. And with star trio Boa Salosa down the left flank, Ilham Jaya Kasuma in the centre, and Ilya Aiboy on the right, Indonesia seemed virtually unstoppable.
I would think that they'd be using their crowd when they play in Singapore like we're using our crowd. We have a fanatical support here. I've asked the supporters just to get behind the team and not be disrespectful with regards to throwing things onto the pitch, just to support the team vocally. It's a great atmosphere when you go in the stadium, and if they can get behind us, then yeah, it can be a benefit for us. So we're looking forward to playing in front of a full house, and hopefully Singapore are looking forward to playing in front of a full house, but there'll be no one cheering for them.
Training for the first time in the massive Senayan Stadium was a new experience for most of the Lions. Apart from veterans Aidi and Subramani, none of the other 18 members had ever played in the 110,000-seater arena. But to the team, the size of the stadium or the crowd was no longer an issue. Reddy's lessons over the past 18 months had long been set in their minds. These Lions had proved more than capable of focusing solely on the opposition. There was little doubt Singapore had showed plenty of grit and determination on their path to the final. But now, with the title 180 minutes away, the biggest test of their temperament and quality was at hand. Captain Aidi had been an inspiration throughout the campaign. Even a clash of heads with the Timmy in their last training session wasn't going to keep him out of this match. It was another example of the growing confidence and maturity of the squad.
I think we've got a lot of talent in the team, and I think a lot of people don't appreciate the talent that we do have, and that's fine for us. We'll go into the final as underdogs. Obviously you think that we don't stand a chance. Obviously a lot of people don't think that we have a good chance of winning, but we believe in the camp that we can do a good job, and we don't care if there's 100,000, 200,000 people watching a game in Indonesia. It's another game for us, and we'll go out. They have the pressure behind them. They have to perform in front of their own fans. We'll go out, enjoy the game, and I think we can get a result here.
Match day at the Senayan. After Indonesia's scintillating run, the locals arrived in anticipation of seeing their team take a decisive step towards a first title. It was an intimidating atmosphere that had reached fever pitch long before kickoff time. So, from a starting field of 10, it was now down to 2. Indonesia were expecting a convincing win. What they got instead was a rude awakening from a rejuvenated Singapore.
Terry Ishak laying the ball for Daniel Bennett to have a goal. And the ball goes in! After only 5 minutes, Singapore have taken the lead here at the Senayan Stadium. Daniel Bennett, courtesy of a deflection, 1-0 Singapore. Indonesia now having to chase the game. some good interplay there between Elia Boy. Well tackled by Aidi Iskandar, and the ball breaks once again. Good save by Lionel Lewis. Is it? Oh, just off the post from Boaz Salosa. Boaz Salosa now. Just caught by Haki Kaizan. And it doesn't look good for the Indonesian winger. Could Indonesia be losing one of their top players? Possibly so. Agu Kazmir showing great determination. Great layoff to Noor Alam Shah. He looks up, pulls the trigger. Well saved by the goalkeeper, but Khairul Amri follows up with Singapore's second goal. The 19-year-old, starting for the very first time for his country, scores to give Singapore a 2-0 lead in Indonesia. Phenomenal. Indonesia now knowing that they have to chase the game. A good 1-2. Great work, and perhaps just a little bit selfish on the part of Ilham Jaya Kesuma. And he knows that. And the fans know it too. Singapore in the driver's seat now. They lead by 2-0. Itimi Dixon. Well tackled by Mohamed Lessi. A bit of a tangle on the ground, and a card is coming out. Referee Kwong Jong-chul taking firm control of the game. And let's take a look at that incident once again. Look to be raised elbows, flailing arms, and one wonders now what colour the card is going to be. It's going to be a red card, and this means that Indonesia are now down to 10 men as Mohamed Lessi is sent off. Here comes Singapore with Agu Kazmir. Taking his time, given amounts of space. Itimi Dixon with the run. Well, the referee's whistle there, just catching the Singapore team offside. And Radi Abramovich is livid. Itimi Dixon taking on his man, Firman Ulnan, beating him comfortably, squares the ball. Agu Kazmir, surely! It's an unforgettable night for Singapore. With 20 minutes to go, they are leading Indonesia in the Senayan Stadium by 3-0. Here come Indonesia, Ilhan Jaya once again. A good 1-2. Kurniawan looks up. Good attempt by the Indonesian striker, hoping to give his team a fighting chance in the return leg. Indonesia come once again. Kurniawan, well taken down. Lays the ball for Ilya. Well saved by Lionel Lewis. Deep into injury time, Indonesia know that this is their last chance perhaps to salvage something from this free kick. And it goes in. Well, Lionel Lewis looks perplexed, and possibly Mayadi got a deflection. Yes, he did, of Sharul Ishaq.
A totally unexpected result at the end of a stunning performance from the fast-maturing Lions. After all the doubts and criticism, Singapore now had one hand firmly on the cup.
I think it's excellent result. It's a shame that we didn't finish game 3-0. But this 2 goals difference is absolutely excellent to have here. Players done extremely well. It's really all credit to them. And at the end, I think the atmosphere was good. Full stadium, and that's what in football you need.
Despite having a healthy lead, there was no let-up in the camp ahead of the second leg. With Indonesia expected to go for broke, extra attention had to be given to Singapore's defensive preparations. But they'd been superbly protected throughout the tournament by Lionel Lewis, who'd impressed many in his first international tournament.
Playing in Senayan, I think it was a very good experience for me. Definitely one to remember for the rest of my life, because the crowd was superb, the pitch was good. But then again, as I say, you need luck to win, so we were lucky there, we won. So looking forward to the next game in Singapore.
For Indonesia, the task ahead was certainly a daunting one. Having to recover a 2-goal deficit is difficult in the best of times, but Peter With also had to contend with injury and suspension. But the pressure to deliver certainly didn't show as the team finalized preparations. Boa Salosa's first leg injury was the biggest concern. The inspirational 18-year-old had been one of the stars of the tournament. Now he faced sitting out on the biggest night of Tiger Cup 2004. January 16th, Cup final day at the National Stadium. 55,000 fans came together in what was the biggest turnout at the National Stadium for a football match in over 10 years. And boy, did they have a party.
This country loves football. I mean, we love football, and I think it's really great that we're supporting our own team again. Singapore 4, Indonesia 0.
Tonight, I think Singapore got a good chance to win a match because we got a good advantage. Because away goal we win 3-1. So tonight, I think our chance is quite good.
Fans in any part of the world will come back and support the team if the team is doing well. And there's no doubt about it. I mean, one thing that keeps the fan coming is the success of the team. So if we keep doing well international level, I think more fans will turn out in National Stadium.
Singapore Tiger Cup champion! Yeah!
After all the hype and pre-match build-up, it was finally time to take center stage in front of a Kallang sea of red. Singapore journey was almost complete. Now they look to finish the job in front of their adoring home fans.
Lionel Lewis. It's the long ball down the middle of the park. Indra Shadan holds off one defender, looks up, shoots and scores! Singapore lead 1-0, 4-1 at aggregate, and all this after only 5 minutes. No wonder we are in ecstasy. Great finish by the striker. Magnificent composure. Indonesia now chasing the game. They're behind 4-1 at aggregate and well held by Lionel Lewis. Truly a rock in the Singapore defence. Here come the Indonesians once again. Here's Elia Boy. And that will be no problem for Lionel Lewis. Ikimi Dixon begins his run. Shamsho struggling to keep up. There's a magnificent contest down the flank between the two players. He lays the ball back to Indra Shadan. He's brought down and it's a penalty to Singapore. Senseless tackle. And Agu Kasmir puts Singapore 2-0 ahead. And the home team now lead by a score of 5-1 on aggregate. It's a wonderful night for Singapore. Indonesia now with the free kick. Ball comes in, well palmed over by Lionel Lewis. He's had a wonderful tournament as a Singapore goalkeeper. The crowd know that Singapore are just one half away from their first title since 1998, and the players know it as well. Will Boa Salosa make his mark later on during the game? Lionel Lewis looking to launch a quick counter-attack. Indra Shadan just lurking. Out comes Hendro Katiko. And he looked to have handled the ball clearly outside his penalty area and gets a yellow card for his troubles. And he's lucky to still be on the field. With the Indra Shadan hoping to get his second goal of the evening, and the ball just goes over the bar, bringing a little smile from assistant coach Fandi Ahmad. Indonesia now. Trying to just get that all-important single goal, but once again they find the Singapore defence a stumbling block. Peter With, what's going through his mind right now? Here come Indonesia once again. Ilham looking to make the run. He gets the ball. Can he pull a goal back? Tries to go around Lionel Lewis, who stops him and who has been stopping him time and time again during this game. A frustrated Ilan Kusuma. Indonesia. Kurniawan. Well stopped once again by Lionel Lewis. He gets down so fast for a big man. But here come the Indonesians. Kurniawan. Good skills. Bit of trickery. And Indonesia do get a goal back. Elia Boy making the score 2-1 on the night. But the Singapore defence, once again, ball watching. No one even knew Elia Boy was there. Agu Kasmir. Singapore now in a very comfortable position. Can they add insult to injury and perhaps get another goal? Good attempt there by Shadul Ishak. But it stays 2-1 on the night. Indonesia now with only pride left to play for. Adi Iskandar just catches the Indonesian striker and gets a yellow card, and this unfortunately means that the Singapore captain will be sent off. Referee Khalil Al-Gamadi showing him the red card, and Adi Iskandar, who's one of the most gentlemanly players in Southeast Asian football, is sent off just 3 minutes from time. It's a sad end to the tournament for the Singapore skipper, and he looks absolutely devastated. Lionel Lewis, one of the heroes of the Singapore team, clapping along with the crowd. They are just minutes, no, seconds away from their second Tiger Cup, and the entire team know it as well. Ikimi Dixon looks on longingly, waiting to rush onto the field to join his teammates. And referee Khalil Al-Gamadi blows the full-time whistle, sending this 55,000 crowd and the entire Singapore team and officials into seventh heaven. It's been a long, long tournament, but Radi Abramovich has whipped his team into shape, and they have emerged victorious in this year's Tiger Cup.
So after 41 days, the road was over. Singapore had won their second Tiger Cup and won it in truly inspirational style.
Look, I think I'm very happy, man. Players done great job. People came, they support them, and I think we are all celebrating now. No, it's special night for everyone. After really 2 months preparation and going through this Tiger Cup, it's really great feeling. It's great feeling, and I think boys fully deserve all the support for they have. And I hope they will celebrate for a long time.
It's a fantastic night for us all Singapore. I mean, we thank the Singaporeans who came to support us. It's a full house. With their support, I think it makes us, inspire us to work even harder to play. And so far, we are the only unbeaten team in the tournament.
I just want to win it so badly. That's why it's my first major trophy for Singapore. I hope there'll be more to come because there's still a long way for me. There's still a lot of things for me to learn in football. So today is just a very lucky day for me and Singapore, but we played very well.
Less than a week after their triumph at Kallang, the team gathered for another major celebration. This time, though, it was done a la European style. Close to 2,000 fans from all walks of life jam-packed Neon City to celebrate and pay tribute to the new kings of ASEAN football. The significance of their win was given added weight by the presence of the celebration's guest of honor, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong.
Prime Minister, Samabatan, Dr. Balakrishnan, dear friends in football, well, Singapore has done it! We are football champions of Southeast Asia!
Very happy, very overwhelmed because I think it's a lot achievement of Singapore. because seeing Singapore growing in soccer now, you can see even in the S League, in other games, even the youth, they're all growing, you know. We should keep it up. Proud of our country.
My message for my fans, you know, all the Singaporeans is, you know, they should believe on their players, you know, because they got the quality to win the cup.
No, I think it's a great boost to us. You know, it shows us that we can do it. If we prepare well and we get everybody to work together, get the right coach, inspire the players, have a blend of youth and experience, have a blend of foreign and local talents, and most importantly, I think, have the self-belief that we can do it. Now, hopefully, you know, under the FPS 3 to 5 year roadmap, this will go on to further successes in the SEA Games end of this year, and I think more importantly, the Asian Cup in 2007. But I want to thank the fans for their support. I think that's important. But in any campaign, as a footballer who has played for 12, 13 years, I know that, you know, it cannot be up all the time. There will be times you'll lose matches, there will be times you'll disappointments. But the point is, you know, get close to the players, get close to the team, know the players, know us as a family, you know, and then we support one another. And hopefully, Asian Cup 2007, and who knows after that? You know, I mean, the world's the limit.
The Tiger Cup champions of 2004. Who would have imagined that a team that was struggling with injury problems to its strikers would go on to lift the trophy? Who would have guessed that the Lions were capable of remaining undefeated against the best in Southeast Asia? No matter how they did it, one thing's for certain: the future's looking bright again for Singapore football.